Right, the second game of the night of the Qatar T10 Ramadan Cup, and he started off with a bang as Afridi, slightly short of length, was Umagan, and he was punished. A befitting start here to the second encounter of the night. A star-studded lineup of Hurricanes taking on Pak Afghan. They've got a few powerhouses in their squad. Have Pak Afghan, officially known as the Fighters Cricket Club. Ramadan is an experienced campaigner, plays for the Qatar national side. And slightly outside the off stump, he slashed it away. It's gone between the two fielders, out on the offside, and the second boundary of the over. The width was on offer, and he accepted it gleefully, did the batter. And he comes again, and he's tucked it away for a single. He's looking for the second. Will probably decide against it, and rightly so. Anwar Khan and Tahir, the two batters out there in the middle. They'd be looking to up the ante early, taking the early initiative. They've got to score as many runs as possible, it has to be said, against this power-packed lineup of Hurricane CC. We saw them absolutely demolishing the opposition the other night, chasing down a mammoth score of 144 by Maverick. I think that will certainly be playing at the back of the mind here of the opposition as we look at the two lineups. Fighter CC led by Adnan Gul. They've got some experienced names in that lineup. Anwar Khan, Asad Ali, Muhammad Junaid. We'll see him out there bowling a bit later. Hurricanes led by Armagan Ganesh, equally experienced, if not better. They've got some dangerous players in that squad, that's for sure. So spin being followed by pace. Umar Afridi to bowl the second over. It's going to be Afridi v Afridi. Fire versus fire, that's for sure. The faster they come, the faster they go, as they say. I won't be surprised if that's the case in this over as well. Afridi at the start of his run-up. In he comes, the crowds blazing in anticipation. A bit short, and it stayed a bit low. Not renowned for his footwork is Anwar Khan. It's not particularly needed either in this format of the game. See the ball, hit the ball. That's all that matters in the end. And this man in your picture right now, Anwar Khan Afridi, is certainly capable of doing that. There will be very little margin for error. And touch short on this occasion, and he's bludgeoned that delivery, not quite timing it as well. But you could see the power. Nowhere near the meat of the bat, still being able to clear the 30-yard circle. Only a single in the end. But the intentions are quite clear. Tahir on strike. You'll see a bit of finesse, a bit of touch when he's on strike. More of the conventional type of the two batters out there. This time trying to force that ball down the ground, a run-out opportunity, and had that ball hit direct, it would have been interesting. But they scampered through for a single in the end. Too much bottom hand coming into play. Trying to hit that ball out of the ground, out of this stadium, somewhere in the middle of Doha perhaps. And on that occasion, losing his run-up, had to abort his run-up. Right, so 13 for none. They are in 1.3, a decent start. And this time it was in his arc and he's hit that out of the boundary. Out of the side it goes. You can watch that ball sailing across the boundary for the first maximum of this innings. Easy as you like. He's so powerful, so strong. I think one thing that Umar Afridi will do well here tonight is to stay away from his hitting range. Anything in his arc, in and around that middle and leg area, he will go for it. Big, powerful arms of his. And he comes again. What's his backup delivery here? What has he learned from that last ball? Let's find out. Here we go. And slightly outside the off stump, the ball probably staying a touch low, but obviously the batsman trying to hoik it, played across the line, getting nowhere near the pitch of it. But that's the way he plays. Lives by the sword, dies by the sword. It was interesting, at least Afridi did adjust his line on that occasion, bowling it slightly outside the off stump, not providing the batsman the room to free his arms. Well, he's hit that straight. It wasn't short enough, but once again trying to axe that ball down the ground. Too much bottom hand coming into play. Only a single to finish. Fighter CC are 20 for none in 2 overs. So we've seen spin, we've seen pace, and we'll see a bit of medium fast swing from Kader as well, known for his outswing and line in length bowling. And those fielders on the offside, they might as well watch out for cover in this over, because he will go with the swing, that's for sure. Once again, trying to bludgeon that ball, hitting it hard, too hard in the end. Wide outside the off stump. It was too wide. The good old French cut, though, will earn him a boundary, not the way he wanted it, but it's runs at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how they come, as long as they can keep coming. He would consider himself unlucky there, Kader, but that's the nature of the game. It doesn't always go your way. Once again, you can see a bit of shape outside that off stump. And you've got to be better than slogging aimlessly to be able to put that kind of bowling away. It does require being able to execute proper cricketing strokes, that's for sure. Touch short, and once again he goes onside, and I think is out. He's hit it straight to the fielder. Very one-dimensional in nature, and with the experience of Hurricanes, they've figured him out early and shown him the way to the pavilion as well. So after a couple of streaky boundaries and a 6, Anwar Khan Afridi is having to make a long way back to the pavilion as Fighter CC losing their first wicket at 24 for 1. Right, 24 for 1 they are, Fighter CC, and as a new batsman comes out in the middle, Kader has been absolutely immaculate with his line in this over. It's one of those bowlers it's difficult to put away. Gentle, medium pace it might seem, but he's absolutely immaculate with his line and length. Asking questions all the time. As we have a double look at this field, there's a man back at long off. That's the only man who seems back. No, there is another one, a deep extra cover. And touch shot, nicely played away. Good looking stroke there for a single. Right, he's got his work cut out for sure, the batsman, because Kader has obviously got a plan here. He's got a man back at long off and deep extra cover. That's primarily because he has the ability to move the ball away from the batsman. And he's going to stick to his guns most of the time. Oh, inside edge, and that ball's rolled over into the stumps. Sorry way to go. An unfortunate dismissal, it has to be said, for Tariq. But once again, it was a heave, a wild slog across the line, and he has to pay the price for it. Well, even in the day of T10 and T20s, you should be able to play those conventional shots, because it could be a merciless game for you at the end, particularly when you're facing new ball against quality bowlers. And he got found out here, that's for sure. You cannot hit every ball in the middle of the town. I like the way Farhan Butt started off though. First ball he faced, punching the ball to deep extra cover. For a change, sanity prevailing. As Farhan Butt is on strike. Short outside the off stump. Couldn't quite find the gap. The connection was all right. The ball was definitely middled on that occasion. That's been the pattern of the night, so it's not very difficult for the Hurricanes to pan out their plans against that kind of batting. They want to be on the onslaught, but they are unfortunately very, very one-dimensional in nature. I just wonder whether that fielder outside, outside on the offside, the deep cover region, would ever be in play. He might as well be if there's a cut shot coming in to play, but apart from that, with so much bottom hand being applied, the chances are the ball would stay leg side most often than not. The captain into his second over. 4 balls to go. And the plan seems to be simple from Ramadan, that's for sure. He seems to be firing them in, not providing any room whatsoever, and not slowing the pace down as well, as the batsman might be able to get underneath it if that happens. And there we go. Sticking to the guns, sticking to the plan. What has Asad got here, though? Has he got the answers? He's moving the fielders around, is Ermagan. Deep extra cover coming into play. Hardy's going into covers. So it's going to be wide outside the off stump once again. Yeah, once again, that line outside the off stump. And there seems to be an appeal by the keeper here, asking the question, but more ambitious than realistic. It certainly seem to be a settled unit, does Hurricane CC. Players seem to know their roles. They were a bit hairy-fairy in the first game against Maverick CC, where they conceded lots of runs in the first innings. But they've been a lot better. Seem to have learned their lesson from the last game. Down the ground. Only a single. Khader continuing, and he'll continue to bowl in that region unless the batsman does something different. And also now he's got the keeper up as well. This is good strategy, keeping the batsman inside the crease. We'll look at the field after this ball. Another heave, another across the line slog, another mistimed delivery. Now having a look at the field, they've got a long on back, long off, deep extra cover. There is a third man in place as well. Not sure if they really need that third man with Khader's pace at the minute. and the fact that the batters are trying to slog it across the line every other delivery. It's interesting, they've got a mid-wicket as well, and that's going to be a key region in this game. Way outside the off stump, and he'll have to reload that one on that occasion. It's interesting going into the batter's mind at this stage. What is he thinking? What are his options? He's on a default pilot mode, it seems, no matter where it comes. He's just got the one shot to offer it. Look at that, it was way, miles away from that off stump, and yet the batsman dragging it towards the onside. Hurricanes wouldn't mind it though. Another thing, you notice they're standing way outside that leg stump as well. With that guard, it's going to be so difficult reaching out for the deliveries outside the off stump. Yeah, that's a better line, and it's gone straight to the third man. Wasn't the best of deliveries, has to be said, but a heave across the line, not the best of his balls to pick up a wicket on, but he wouldn't mind it. He certainly won't. His weight falling over, head going towards onside as well. In no position really to play that shot. And the fielder there, he has a safe pair of hands. A regulation chance, gleefully accepted in the end. Well, he'll be happy to bowl there every day, all day long, 6 balls in a row. Wouldn't matter. Carter into his second over. He's only bowled 2 legitimate deliveries so far. And once again, just continuing with that same line, same length. And it seems that every other ball is an action replay of the previous one. They've certainly got the opposition's number here as Hurricanes, and as a result they've been able to put a tight lid on the score in here. Another ball, another dot ball. All right, so just talking about this Ramadan T10 tournament, we've seen some exhilarating contests already. The first game of the night between Mavericks and Desert Lions CC, how we saw Desert Lions using their spinners strategically in the middle overs. I think the first team to use as many as 3 spinners in a single game, and they were in turn able to curtail the firepower in Mavericks. We saw Sharik was going strong early on, and he had a good partnership going with his counterpart, Sardar, at the time. But he must be kicking himself at this stage, playing that false stroke, hitting a 6, then getting out the next ball. That shot was never quite on. Talking of spin, we've got spin being introduced here by Mavericks. And the first ball, these batters, they probably prefer to play spin, but his reverse cupped hit has always Afridi on the boundary. Simple catch, a regulation chance, So often we talk about spin coming into the attack and picking up a wicket, and that's exactly what's happened once again. He seems dejected walking back to the hut, but he wasn't really doing any good to his cause out there. It's not the longest of boundaries out of the mid-wicket, but he was just not good enough. Fighters CC are known for their power hitting and slogging in general in Qatar cricket. In domestic cricket, they tend to play their cricket this way. They live by the sword, they die by the sword. We saw in the last edition of the Ramadan T10 tournament back in 2022, didn't really live up to the hype. And one of the reasons for that might be the fact that they don't play their cricket on turf pitches that often. And if you don't do that, you get found out very, very quickly. Arif to continue, and almost another wicket. He'd be considering himself terribly unlucky, and it goes for 4 as well, adding insult to injury there. Beaten everyone. It was such a good delivery. Didn't have much pace on it, but it was his variation delivery, the googly. The batsman didn't pick it. It was in tatters and all sorts of trouble, really, trying to execute that shot. But as it turned out, it missed everyone. This time slightly fuller, but the same result, another dot delivery. And a googly on that occasion. I think he was looking for a wicket. Wanting one to come back into the right-handers and peg one of those stumps back. A streaky shot, just a single though, no damage done in the end. Arif wouldn't mind that result. Slightly shorter and faster on that occasion. Just another single though. It's turning out to be another good over here for Hurricanes. Hurricanes are hurrying into this game, and they seem to be in a bit of a hurry to finish it. Another faster one, another single. So at more than halfway stage, 6 overs done. Fighter CC reeling at 39 for 4. Well, 6 overs into this innings. There's only been 1 6 so far. And with the last 4 overs to go in the innings, they would certainly be hoping for a few more. Oh, while talking about sixes, he's gone down the ground, he's smoked it, he's absolutely smoked that ball. Somebody could have caught that, somebody working for Qatar Airways, I guess. Is this the start of something big? He's got another one, but he hasn't quite timed it. The fielder running in, and an absolutely valiant effort there by the fielder. He's plucked it out of thin air. Magnificent. T10 cricket at its best. Well, he made it look so easy. We saw in the first match of the night how so many catches were spilled, so many sitters. But if you are to make an impact in a game like this, in a tournament like this, you've got to take catches like those. Just when we thought a bit of momentum was being gathered by Fighter CC, another wicket goes down, a 6 and a wicket. So they've never really been able to gather any momentum in this game. Right, the wicket in this over, and Murad has been joined by Zainuddin. They've got to do something out of the ordinary here, something different. And as we mentioned earlier, they wouldn't really mind it. Hurricane singles won't hurt. They need sixes. And once again, a swing and a miss. They've been right on money tonight. Have the Hurricane bowlers. They've got their plan sorted. And that's been the case. On this occasion, though, it was a better shot, at least playing the right line, aiming to hit through the offside and not going across the line. You could see how they've planned this game out, have Hurricanes. You saw with Ermagan bowling at the beginning of this inning, and he was trying to bowl fast outside that off stump, shooting them in, staying away from the range of these batters, anything in their arc, and they have so much muscle and power to put it away. The best place for you to be is as far away from these batters as possible. Dani, he's a magnificent striker of the cricket ball, known for his power hitting. And he's more conventional in nature as well, has the ability to go offside, unlike his counterparts. But Arif has done well so far in this game. They've got a good variation in bowling as well. We saw the faster one on that occasion. We saw the earlier spinners bowling fast, shooting it in. Arif has been slightly slower through the air at times and is come up with those faster shooters as well. Keeping the batsman guessing, but keeping it outside the off stump most of the time. Another googly here, and he's hit that with the spin, and the connection is good on that occasion. He can watch that ball sail over the boundary for a 6. You were talking about their ability to hit well within the line of the stumps. That ball was right in the arc. I don't blame Arif though for bowling that delivery, taking his chances. He was probably looking for a wicket there. Wouldn't say it's T10 type of bowling though. Yeah, that's it. Keep bowling there. Big appeal for stumping, I guess. The wicket keeper looking at the umpire who said no. Shook his head immediately. Yeah, that's better. I mean, they don't really need to pick up wickets at this stage as long as they can keep the scoring down. They've already put the brakes on the scoring, and the projected score is only a meager 78. That's fine. Let them deal in singles. The shorter format of the game, T10, you have to go from ball one. Dhani this time goes mid-wicket, but once again not getting the connection, the ball coming off the toe end of the bat, and only a single to end the 8th over, and fighters are struggling at 55 for 5. Right, so it's Rahmat continuing from this end. I think they've got the blueprint for this tournament. A few of these teams, we saw Desert Lions early on going with the spin heavy attack, and yet another wicket falling to spin. Losing his balance was Adnan on that occasion. The ball zipping past him, and a sharp piece of work by the keeper. See you later. It's too easy for them at the minute. Talking about the blueprint for the night, I think they figured out, some of these teams, it's so imperative to go in with quality spinners. I think Hurricanes certainly have learned this lesson after the battering they got in the last game. And as a result, we see them operating with a spin-heavy attack. And so far, so good. Right, the new batsman in is Junaid, very experienced, and with only 9 legitimate deliveries remaining in this innings, he'll have to hit a few out of the ground for sure. And this time it was slightly flighted, and he was able to get underneath it, but it's got more height than distance. And the fielder has accepted that one gleefully at the boundary rope. RF is the safest pair of hands. He's not going to drop many. Simple chance coming his way. Too much bottom hand once again into that shot. It was there to be hit, mind you. Asking to be hit. Not quite getting the connection, hitting it too high. And a straightforward opportunity. And they're falling like curtains at the moment, our fighter CC. And once again highlighting their struggles in the shorter format of the game. We saw that in 2022 and they played T10 cricket. Wear their hearts on their sleeves. Some of these players from Afghanistan and Pakistan, powerfully built and heavily invested in the game as far as their emotional sentiments are concerned. So they play their cricket with great passion. Sometimes you wonder if there is a method to the way they operate. Got all the ability in the world, doesn't always translate into results. Right, the new batsman is Sohail Khan. He's got long levers, ability to clear most grounds in Qatar, that's for sure. If he stays down there in the middle, you'll see a better range of shots. One just wonders whether he should have been out there in the middle earlier. Anyways, he's out there now with 8 legitimate deliveries remaining. Hasn't really got much time to settle in. Clips it away for a single. They need a big over here to stand any kind of a chance of a comeback in this game. An over of a 20 maybe, 25. Highly unlikely, but need of the hour for sure. Here's Ramadan once again. He's hit that straight down the ground. He's hit it well enough as well. Got the power on that occasion. It went flat into the boundary ropes for a 6. Is it too little too late? However, funnier things have happened in cricket. And even though they've got their backs against the walls here, any kind of score in the longer run, in the longer interest of this tournament, is going to be the key. This is just early days in this tournament so far. So if you can't win it, make sure you don't lose as badly. Get as close as possible so you stand a chance by the end of the tournament to qualify for the knockout. So that's exactly what they'll be eyeing for tonight, I think, if they can't get a victory on board. Right, so it's going to be Hadi bowling the last over of this inning, and he's not someone who's easy to put away either. Right up in the block hole, and just a single once again. How would they benefit if they had a few technical players batting up the order for them? Pak Fighter CC, known as Fighter CC officially. But having those good starts and making sure there's somebody to anchor the inning through. Even in T10 cricket, his time has gone straight down the ground. He hit a 6 last ball of the over. He's followed it up with another. Into the stand it goes. He's hit that cleanly on this occasion. There was certainly a 6 that went out of sight and a 6 that defines this T10 fight. And a good comeback. Faster one on that occasion. Slightly outside that off stump. But was shaping up to hit that one again was Junaid. With all his power and might. And he's keeping away from his range. He's doing well. He's learned his lesson very quickly as Hadi. He's very, very experienced. An exceptional all-round cricketer. A real good gift to have for any side. He's a match winner on his day. Both with the ball and the bat. Used to be a lot faster in the past. Has lost a bit of pace, a few yards over the years. But he certainly got some tricks up his sleeve. This time though, Sohail has gone straight as an arrow, and that ball rockets into the boundary for a 4. That's what I was talking about. Sohail, this man, he has the ability to play the long range, and he doesn't really require to hit in unorthodox shots to do it. Could he have been sent earlier? Might have been a different picture altogether. And he goes again through the offside, creamed away through the offside, beating the fielder at long off, and it's the second consecutive boundary of the over. What a way to finish. It has to be said, it's a shame he was sent so late in the innings, given his ability to hit on both sides of the wicket. It could have been a different picture altogether had he been there earlier. As it turns out, Fighter CC ending on 80 at the end of 10 overs. Sohail finishing up on 10 of just the 4 deliveries. Junaid played a great hand actually. 2 gigantic 6s of the 5 deliveries he faced, but the name of the game and the story of the night so far has been a bleak one for Fighter CC. Just not enough runs on the board, particularly given the way Hurricane batters batted in the last game. They would be certainly eyeing to finish this in a hurry. Right, so don't go anywhere. We'll have live action for you, the reply from Hurricane CC in just about 10 minutes from now. And Qatar T10 Ramadan Cup. You're live here from the Asian Town International Cricket Stadium. Second encounter of the night. It's Hurricane CC versus Fighter Cricket Club. Hunting down this target of meager 80 runs, it has to be said. Hurricane CC would probably be in a bit of a hurry to finish this one off. They've got two ominous batsmen in Ahnaf and Umesh. We saw what they're capable of doing in the last game. Destructive, absolutely destructive they can be in their approach. They haven't really got many runs to play with, although they have some good lanky fast bowlers in their ranks, starting with Abdul Hamid, one of the quickest bowlers in Doha. They've got Sohail Khan as well, who would probably come in next. Well, they'll have to bowl really, really well to contain the opposition here tonight. And outside the off stump, he's got a bit of shape going. We've seen that all throughout this night. Bowlers bowling from this particular end, getting the ball to jag around a little bit. And that point region has been a key one. Quite a few boundaries have been leaked there. Too good on that occasion. Ahnaf making room for himself, trying to go extra cover, would probably be better off trying to cut that ball. Hamid's got the pace. It can be used against him on a wicket like this, conditions such as these. Once again, wavered on that occasion though. Umesh is asking for a wide. It's comfortably a wide. I like how keen he is. His character is Umesh, an absolute dynamite with the bat. Loved the way he celebrated the other night after scoring his 50. This time short, too good, an absolute jaffa. Just enough movement to keep the batter interested, pistoning around that off stump and then leaving him venomously in the end. Haven't really seen many balls take off like that. Just looking at that bowling, you just wonder if they had more runs to play with. This time using his feet, and he was nowhere on that occasion. He's probably going down the leg side with his movement, using his feet, but his head is way outside that leg stump. And with Hamid's pace, he's always going to struggle getting bat on ball. And once again, as he found the outside edge, he has the batsman's walking. No need for the umpire to raise that finger. It was coming. It was always on the cards. He was playing so far away from the body. His feet going down the leg side, pointing towards the mid-wicket, in fact. And he was just hanging his bat in the end to offer the faintest of edges to the keeper. Hamid bowling an exceptional first over for Fighter CC, and he certainly raised a few eyebrows and he's made things interesting. A wicket in his first over and just the 3 runs on the board. They've got Sohail Khan, I think, who will bowl the next over. No, I think they've gone in with a different option, but they've got plenty of options. We were talking about how they were so one-dimensional with their batting. It's certainly 360 degrees with the bowling. They've got so many options. Abdul Hamid, you saw one of the best bowlers in Qatar when he's in his full flow. He's got the pace, he's got the movement, and he can be a handful for the best of the batters out there. Well, just looking at this field, I think they've gone in with attacking options. It's good to see they've got a slip in place as well. Just the deep third man, the only fielder around the 30-yard circle. A nice ball, a bit of gas there. Bending his back, good to see. Oh, and almost an overthrow given away, but it was good backing up by the fielder at deep mid-wicket. For a moment, we thought there was only one fielder outside the 30-yard ring, but there seems to be one hiding at deep mid-wicket as well. And that's exactly where this ball went. First ball of this over by Zainu, and he seems to be generating a bit of gas, bending his back. So what looked like a straightforward task at one point of time may not turn out to be as simple. These bowlers, they're certainly asking questions early in the innings. Oh, what a shot that is, but has he got enough of it? He hasn't, and what a catch! Was it Tariq at the boundary? For a moment I thought he's got a good piece of it, but the timing was lacking quite clearly, and a sitter in the end. Wasn't quite a sitter though. He did have to run a long way to his right to take that ball low down. So it was a good catch, has to be said. Fighter CC making inroads in this game early on. And Hurricanes find themselves with 2 wickets down with just 4 on the board. And it's the second over in progress. They've got the man for the crisis. They've got their captain walking out in the middle in Ermuga. Bowled brilliantly well in the first innings. Applied the brakes on the scoring. They will need him to apply himself tonight if they are to get themselves out of this hole. Having said that, it's a couple of good overs. That's all they require to get their momentum back. That's the leverage they've got themselves with the performance in the first innings. Right, there's a slip in play still. A man at deep mid-wicket, only 3 fielders, 4 on the offside. And he comes again, and a streaky shot to start with, using his feet, taking the initiative, going on the offensive, and as they say, fortune favors the brave. He could easily have chosen to sit back on the back foot, negotiate a couple of rounds, but he's out there making a statement that he's not going to be bogged down. He's out there to dictate terms. They've got plenty of wickets in the bank still. Walks across the stumps and nicely played away, just guided in the gap. And this is a quick outfield. As he stopped that, I think good piece of footwork in the end by the fielder down there. The umpires are checking. You see, this is smart cricket by Ermuga. Using his feet once again. That's something we didn't see in the first inning. Not a lot of it, actually. But we've seen Ermugan in this inning already. Being proactive. Taking the initiative. Taking the onslaught to the bowlers. Once again. And he's helped it on its way. Disturbed the length of the bowler. Hardly seemed to have hit it, but it's gone right into the boundary for a 6. They talk about raw power and muscle. This was finesse and class. Excellent batting. He's taken the initiative on. Hardly bogged down by the fall of those 2 wickets. And he seized the initiative back. That's what happens when you're brave. And when you've got some shots in your repertoire as well, like Urmaga has got. Once again, using his feet. Beaten on this occasion. Wide signal by the umpire. And it's great to see the kind of cricket the skipper is playing at the moment. Arumaga dancing down the track, waiting for the right line and helping the ball on its way when it's up there. Again, shuffling across the wicket, and he's pulled it. He's pulled it for yet another 6. The second maximum of the over. He's got the springs on, both in his shoes and his bat as well. He's moving so eloquently. Very, very swift with his footwork. Very agile. And once you can do that, once you have that ability to use your feet to your advantage, you don't need to hit the ball so hard. And there was clear evidence of that in that over. Shuffling across the stumps, waiting for the ball to come to him, and then when it was out there, he put it away. And as we mentioned, seized back the initiative. Right, it's Abdul Hamid once again, an excellent first over, and he continues in his merry ways once again. It'll be interesting to see when Urmaga is on strike against him, because he has the ability to swiftly move and shuffle towards the offside. Something that most of the batters in this tournament have been lacking. Nicely played on that occasion. Another dot ball though. Hamid has been right on money. And he comes again, and I think that swing and seam that was evident in the first over seems to be lacking now in the second. Right, this is an interesting competition now. Arumaga versus Abdul Hamid. It'll be interesting to see. He'll shuffle down. Shuffle down he does, and he's hit that straight down the ground. Just timed it. That's all he had to do, and a couple of bounces into the boundary. Amazing, absolutely amazing how the science of the game, you don't have to really bludgeon the ball all the time. Contrast this to what happened in the first innings, with the Pak Afghan batters having all the power and muscle, yet struggling with the timing. That has far not been the case rather, in this innings, with the skipper of Hurricane CC showing exactly how it should be done. Oh, proactive once again, looking for that scoop. The way he's come out there and batted is certainly set the cat amongst pigeons here. gone out there with great intent and has been able to execute those shots brilliantly as well tonight. Straight down the ground he goes. He's powered it, but there is a fieldsman out there at the boundary, so it'll just be a single in the end. At the end of the third over, Hurricanes are 30 for the loss of 2 wickets. Right, so at the end of 3 overs, Hurricane CC 30 for the loss of 2 wicket. Their captain has been out there, is dictating terms, playing shots all across the ground, moving quickly, moving swiftly, and playing the ball on its merit. Hallmark of an experienced batter. Right, so it's Sohail Khan introduced into the attack. Finished with a quick blitz for Fighter CC in the first inning. Starts off wayward. The umpire exercising his arms wide, signaled. Has so often been the case in this tournament. The bowler starting off with a ball down leg side. Almost a ritual now in this T10 competition. A new bowler spraying the ball around. It was there for the taking. I think he would feel as if he's missed out there, Umesh. It was in his zone. Just not being able to make the connection. It's a funny game. This is a great leveler. Cricket. It looked to be all over the opposition in game 1. Umesh hasn't quite found his groove tonight so far. And Arumaga at the other end has looked $1 million, that's for sure. And $1 million he has been. Once again, you can see that. He's seen the ball so well. Picked his spot once again. Down to that fine leg region and earned himself yet another boundary. Knows exactly what he's doing here. Manipulating the field. Knows where gaps are. And his execution has been top class tonight. Oh, wow, that was a bit ambitious, a bit too ambitious on that occasion, but he is fearless for sure. I love it, absolutely love that. The tall, fast bowler coming into ball from 20-25 yards. And what does he have to offer him? A disdainful switch hit. And it was the lap shot that he was attempting. He doesn't care, does he? And once again, down leg side, and it'll race away to the boundary. 4 wides, an absolute gift from the bowler. But he's played with the opposition's mind here, has Arumaga. He's making them think, he's got into their heads. With all the unorthodox shots he's played tonight, he's left them reeling for answers. That's how you be one step ahead, and that's how exactly you play T10 cricket. And if you'd seen, he hasn't really played too many powerful shots. It's been all timing, all class. Down the ground he goes once again. Beaten on this occasion. But you would feel as if half the job has already been done with the captain out there in the middle with the mash. All the mash has to do is give him company for a couple of more overs, and this game might well be done and dusted. This time it's gone high up in the air. There is no one patrolling that area as a third man, but it hasn't quite got the legs to roll away to the boundary, so just a couple of runs. He's riding his luck tonight, that's for sure. Anything he touches turns to gold. Seems like a night that's got Rumaga written all over it. Gets into position so quickly, but this time he hasn't timed it. It's gone up in the air. This has to be taken. It has been taken. So the end to an entertaining knock by the Hurricane CC captain. He went out there, expressed himself, played some scintillating shots all throughout, and one can't help but feel that he's done most of the job for his side tonight. One of the best innings of the tournament we've just seen. Comfortably. And that's how modern day cricketers these days tend to go about their game. Fearless, not worried about getting out. So you shouldn't be in this format of the game anyways. But there needs to be a method to your plan. He was very, very sure in his head of what he was doing tonight, was Umaga. And he knew all he required was a few hits to the boundary to put his team in a commanding position in this game. Right, so the end of the fourth over, the spin's been introduced, and welcome to the bowling crease, says Umesh. It's bread and butter for him, and he disdainfully puts it away for his first boundary of the night. Started off from where he left in the last game, after a bit of break of a few balls, 6 balls, but that's okay if you can hit the ball like the way he did on that first delivery. Running hard, looking for the second, wasn't really on there. Another wicket goes down. It was sold down the river on that occasion. Lack of calling, miscommunication, and this is the last thing Hurricanes wanted at this stage. They were going so well on a cruise control, and that second was never quite on there. It wasn't even required. This Hurricane CC side loaded with stardom. One batter followed by another with equal ability and capability, as we see a seasoned campaigner in Hadi making his way out in the middle. And what that means is Hurricane CC have a right-left combination going for them. Just a single. He's not really happy with that fielding effort there. Anyways, with Hadi on strike now, he's very similar in nature to Ermoga. Fearsome striker of the cricket ball. And if he stays out there for a couple of more overs, it'll be game, set and match. Right, what kind of fielding have they got for him? They've got a deep extra cover. Long off, long on. Helped on its way. The first ball is far too easy for the quality of Hadi, for someone of his quality, to be served that delivery first up. It was served as dinner and gleefully accepted. It was a half tracker, really, with no real pace on it, and all Hadi had to do was get a bit of bat on it and help it on its way. Right, so we're looking at that field that was set for Hadi. They had a deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long off, long on. A man back at deep extra cover as well. That's going to change as the new batsman Khurram comes on strike. They've still got that deep square leg in place with a deep mid wicket and two fielders at the straight boundary with an extra cover, deep extra cover fielder. Khurram looking for a single. That's the last thing they want at this stage. They've already lost a wicket to run out. The run rate is in check at the minute. The required run rate only 5. So they do not need to do anything out of the ordinary. They're well ahead of the game. Current run rate, bang on 11 at the halfway mark, as we have two of the most experienced batters for Hurricane CC out there in the middle. It should be a straightforward job from this point onwards for these two, but you never know. Funnier things have happened in cricket. A couple of wickets and it might just open the door for fighter CC. It's not going to be easy though with Hadi out there and his experience. Has the ability, as we mentioned, to hit the long ball, but can tug them around as well for ones and twos. Nicely played away. Conventional shot, keeping it all along the carpet. Understanding the situation, playing to the requirements of the game. The highlight of this game so far has certainly been the innings played by the captain of Hurricane CC, Aramaga, going out there, all guns blazing. So they'll go back reflecting on this game, Fighter CC, and I think the main areas for concern for them has been in the way they've batted. Too much bottom hand involved. Trying to muscle every delivery out of the park. And as we mentioned, we look back in the 2022 edition, they came in with great expectations. There was so much hype about them. Oh, good looking shot there, using his feet, and he's beaten the chasing fielder at long on. Proper cricketing shot that. May not be the most conventional of T10 shots, but goes on to show how you don't need to do anything out of the ordinary and play textbook cricket with a straight bat. And even that can earn you boundaries. Right, so it's Khurram, and he's played it away. He's pulled away and not quite getting the meat of the bat. The fielder will get across and limit it to only a couple. It does seem like they are running away with the show here, but they would like to finish it as quickly as possible. They are already on the board with a victory in the first match. It will be the second in a row for them going forward in this tournament. A huge confidence booster if they win by a comfortable margin. Slower delivery on that occasion. He's found the gap and has that ball rolled over for a boundary. I think it has, probably. We'll wait for the umpire signal. Yes, 4 signaled. Far too easy. It's a lightning outfield out there tonight. Blazingly fast. And although it seemed like that ball was not too far away from that fielder at deep cover, he stood no chance in the end. And it's far too easy. He's picking his spots now. Through the offside, through the leg side. Showing his range. And a comfortable couple to end that over. Hurricane at the end of 6 are 68 for the loss of 4. Right, so from the way things are going, it just seemed like this might be the final over of this game. It's been a walk in the park as far as Hurricane CC is concerned. They've been all over Fighter CC all throughout the game, outplayed them with the ball, bat and the field as well. And Fighter CC as a result is staring down a huge defeat. A dot ball to start. Shadow practicing that shot once again. Hadi showing how he should have played it. It's amazing how he doesn't really look to hit the ball too hard. Gifted with timing and finesse. Oh, he had to rush, and for a moment we thought there was an opportunity there, and it would have been interesting if that ball hit the stumps on the full. As it turns out, he survives to live another night. And so he might as well do. And his team as well. They've richly deserved the position they've gotten themselves into. And a slower delivery. It's far too easy right now for Khurram. It wasn't the most conventional of shots. Wasn't in control of that one. Spooning it between the two fielders, and it's still raced away to the boundary. If you have a look at that shot again, his feet were stuck to the crease. He just hung his bat out. But all you need to do with this outfield is find the middle of your bat and gap, and that's enough. Oh, that's a better shot. Much better shot on that occasion. Very well controlled all along the carpet. And it's the second boundary on the trot. It's been the pattern with Khurram in this inning so far. One down offside, the other one through offside, leg side. Playing on both sides of the wicket. He's got that ability. Right, so only 4 runs to win. Will this be the last ball of the innings then? Flicked away, only a single on that occasion. And it's down to Hadi. Let's see if he could finish it on this ball. Right, so at the end of this game, don't go anywhere, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. We've got another exciting contest lined up for you. Two of the hot favourites in this tournament in Hilty CC and Starling CC, who played exhilarating cricket in their first games of the tournament, are going to be up against each other. It's going to be a battle of nerves and a battle of skill, no doubt. So wherever you are, just be glued in to your TV sets. And it's helped up and over point to complete the formality for Hurricane CC. They've been absolutely dominant in this game, winning this game comfortably by 6 wickets, and they've rolled all over the opposition, stamping their authority. What a magnificent outing it has been for one of the hot favourites of the tournament. They've got almost all the boxes ticked. Lots of firepower in their batting, lots of talent. And the bowling is pretty good as well. We saw how they went in with a spin-heavy attack in particular in this game, and that certainly paid dividends. Looking really, really strong, that's for sure, our Hurricane CC. And on the other hand, we've got Fighter CC, you've got, who'll have questions to answer when they go back to the drawing board, particularly with their batting. They did start off quite well with the ball, picking up early wickets, and if it wasn't for that blitzy inning by Umragan, the captain, it might have been an interesting contest. But it's really the batting that has lacked. So 2 exhilarating contests we've already witnessed for the night. There is third one up and coming, and it's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. Don't go anywhere, as you'll be joined by You'll be joined by Shazar for the third game in an exciting contest. And we'd like to thank our official broadcasting partners for the third game, the Stars Group. They've done a terrific job. It's over and out from me. And it's over to Shazar for the next game. Have a good night. See you same time, same place tomorrow.